Good luck to you, sir. You're going to need it.
I tell you, talk about a cacophony of RF
You may
flavor
not
going
find
on.
us on your TV, because in case you did not know, we're being brought to you by
OTR.
brought to you by
27.05 megahertz.
brought to you by
The O2 Radio Network.
Again, we might have to check in here if you can hear us. I think you can hear us here.
And Cornbread, that is the best
on HF. 86 kills.
thing I've heard on it is the frequency in use. We're asking if the frequency is in use. It appears to be clear, and so I think it is time for the Old Tube Radio Network. It is raining. It just stopped. The sun is coming out. It's raining here. I've been outside doing some things. But we are back. We are here for the Old Tube Radio Network. The skip is worse than it has ever been tonight. It was low, and then it came back. Checking the RAA meter. We're looking good. I think we have some output power this week. Checking the other meter. Yeah, kind of, sort of, so people might hear me. Now, if we can hear everybody else, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, probably getting clobbered by the items of interest, the Old Tube Radio Network, Real Radio Glowing in the Dark. Let me get to the studio here, back, and REA meter. I'm just checking some meters, checking some stuff, see if we're on the air, see if we're doing stuff in glorious stereo, believe it or not. The Old Tube Radio Network, Real Radio's Glowing in the Dark, 27085 is our frequency, channel 11 in the Central Valley of California, streaming everywhere at oldtuberadio.net. And there is a link there to click in and join the video, as many of you are. Hello, James. Hello, Uncle Hairball, Gary Macias, Levon, Cornbread, Foxman 362, Chrissy is, and a host of others. So I'll get started here. We'll get through the roll call. And if you can't hear me or I can't hear you, you can always come back at any particular time that suits you, and we will get you checked in. The Old Tube Radio Network. I'm trying to straighten my... They say, okay, is that better? It's better. Standing by. Let's see who can check in. We'll take any check-ins right now through the noise to see if we can do that. Over. Maybe some Skipland check-ins. I did hear a couple of Eagles checking in. And hello, Greg. Hello, S9. Are you talking to the mini grass? They can probably hear you on the Pierce Simpson. I saw the video. Pretty cool. As you can hear, there's a good time going on. 27085 tonight. Chrissy, I do see you on the video stream, so I'm getting Chrissy checked in 00. Also SWL number 1 and Mr. OBP number 2. We'll get 3 of those going to make sure this is working. I think the Rolodex, there was a leak in the roof. The Rolodex is maybe completely out of commission tonight. I'm not sure. We are listening. Anybody need an early check-in or just to get in? Over. I can actually hear 53. Bob, I've got you checked in. Over.
Okay, I appreciate it there, Dennis. It's getting kind of rough. I thought I won't be able to get out, but hey, take care. Worldwide Block 53 in the left and back wide.
Okay, the weather is wacky. It got cold again. It's winter all over again. But the Old Tube Radio Network, I'm dropping frames. Where are there? Am I dropping frames again? I don't know. I think I'm going to do a computer upgrade at some point, maybe next week, and I'm hoping that will help the slowness that goes on with a new hard drive and some other stuff. It just seems to be a little bit slow.
37's trying to check in.
I should be able to hear Chris. Hello, Chris.
Hey, 131. I probably would be, but you're not
right. I hear you just fine. I think you were talking when I was talking, or I was talking when you were talking. I hear you just fine. 37. You're doing a good job. Over.
All right, thank you, Dennis. It's hard to hear you. Thank you. Thank you, Abby.
I'll go through the roll call. SWL3. I was hoping to hear from 3 somewhere. Lavon, SWL5 is in on the video side. SWL7.
SWL7 checking in.
Oh, yeah, you are quieting the skip when you key up. That's very nice. Thanks for checking in.
And thank you.
00 is in. Chrissy is in. SW11. Cornbread is in. Likewise. SWL12. Dapper Dan. Greg in Big Bear says he's going solid stay tonight. Probably give the mini grass a holler on the 174 1970 Navajo Pro. I have a 1970 TR23B, the one that doesn't have the Delta tune in it. The very first solid state Navajo, the ones that really horrible power supply. Well, anyway, have them check in. Tell them to key their radios up. 10 is in, 11 is in, 12 is in, SWL 13. I'm going to refresh my page over here. Mike often says hello radio at the old Tube Radio Network side. A lot of stations listening in. Hello to Los Angeles, Fresno, El Dorado Hills, San Diego, Plymouth, Minnesota, Columbus, Ohio, Toledo, Ohio, Bowling Green, Kentucky, Belfast, Maine. Hans is in from Copenhagen. The unknown SWL, there are many of you tonight. Yellow Springs, Ohio, Mariposa, California. I bet that's the 226 will get you checked in, and a host of others.
Put the wave on them. As I slow down cruising islands, I'm stepping down.
And Showdown is listen in tonight on the Old Tube Radio Network, streaming live at oldtuberadio.net. If there was a, what do they call it, a video gate, that would be it. But it's just a stream of your Old Tube Radio Network at oldtuberadio.net. Let's try SWL 14 in Sangertown. Over.
Oh, man, I'm going to wave my hand one more time to y'all, man. I'm definitely going to wave my hand one more time. Must I show down great big Yesu getting down.
Oh, great big Yesu. Maybe bigger than the one I've got, SWL 14. Me. Thank you, 4570. SWL 15. Hans is having breakfast, some hot coffee maybe, and then tuning into the Old Tube Radio Network. Thank you, 173, AKA 15. Charlie is right there. You warned me about this, didn't you? What am I supposed to do? Oh, I'm supposed to honk the... Hold on. It's way over here. You have to hand it to me. Yeah, we're supposed to get the Skipland... The Skipland mud duck. That is something straight out of old radio night. All right, I've got so much stuff, it's hard to move in the chair here. SWL 16 is in. SWL 17. SWL 18, KDA from the Facebook page. SWL 19, Chet is in. Yes, from Derby, New York, Belfast, Maine, and all points in between. I will, he's got cue cards tonight. You know how it is when we start. Sometimes I just don't go through the cards. It messes him up. He doesn't know which page he's supposed to be on. I will try to do better. Notice I moved the microphone down. Last week they said it was way up in the air and there was all sorts of noise, so it's down lower tonight. So that way you can see. Can you see the Orban? Yeah, you can see all that good stuff in the background. I think we've got extra power flavor tonight. The Echo link is up. We'll see if we can't get any stations on that as well. So we got 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 is in. How about SWL 20? Over.
When you stop glove, down there in Running Springs will be listening through the show because I have a Browning question for him. So I guess I could text him, but anyway, or message him, but I've got a Browning question for him. So later on tonight. And I have a radio of interest also. Thank you, Dennis.
All right, that should be fun. Thank you, Harvey. And S9 Radio, if you can hang out with us and your internet is working, we'll have some Browning questions for you. And Udex, he says, my hair looks like it's been high carotid clone. This is what happened. It is so moist and wet outside, and I was running around doing things. This is what happened. It's that rain here. I don't know. Did I put on the wrong? Maybe I put on the wrong tube. They always, when I come in, they hand me the tie, they hand me the jacket, the pocket protector, and then they hand me the hairpiece. I think they gave me the wrong one tonight. I don't know. Well, we'll see what happens. It's not going to get any better. I can guarantee you that. Although it did stop raining. Now it's just cold. Thank you, Harvey. SWL 21. Where was JT tonight? What was going on with ORN? Is he still out at the convention? Well, I will get the Wasama Swamps checked in tonight. SWL 22. I'm thinking if Tyler was out there, we'd be hearing him coming in on Skipland. SWL 23. 23 Skidoo, who is at the skip switch, trying to back it down, trying to get a few less dB out of the Skipland tonight. Not doing that great of a job, actually. SWL 24.
You're looking real good on the top side.
Did Joe check in early? Did Black Sheep check in early? I will get him checked in. SWL 25. I got a proxy in for 25. He is out doing the band thing tonight. Just making sure everything is good. No smoke tonight. No wacky alarms like last week. SWL 27. SWL 28. Gary, I see. Did you guys get the big storm? It just came through here. It just stopped. So I'm thinking you guys got it earlier. I saw snow up there and snow falling down in Lake Almanor. So my guess is, since it came from the Bay Area, you guys got a lot more rain than we did anyway. But hopefully it didn't put the kibosh on your feast coming up. Barks Root. I haven't seen Barks Root in a long time. And buttery popcorn. That sounds good. Where is 913 tonight? All right, thanks, Gary. And the storm is on its way, and summer will be here soon, so we can't complain. Got a proxy check-in for SWL 29. I've got a check-in for Dwayne, SWL 30. And that was sort of the cliff of, Skipland. Everything comes up to 40 over, and then it just drops in about 3 minutes. You'll hear as we go on that the signals are going to get much better for local here. But it's still there. If you're up in the hills, I know you're hearing Skipland. SWL 31. But here in the land of bad and low antennas, and you can't hear a thing. SWL 32. And what is the secret handshake? I think it's something like, I don't know. Wait a minute. That was a trick question. We don't have a secret handshake here at the Old Tube Radio Network. You come as you are. I certainly did tonight. SWL 33, myself, Bozo Control, and everybody else that hangs around here at the Old Tube Radio Network. SWL 34, Jimmy from various CB radio pages. I bet he will be stopping by at some point tonight. You know, it's late there in Batavia and out there in Chicago. But he stays up. He will stop by. SWL 35, Mr. Bill, listening in probably somewhere. You never know. Hello to South Carolina. Where's Shoals? Up in the just coming in up in the balcony here tonight. So we got Mr. Bill checked in. SWL 36. SWL 37 checked in just moments ago. Got you, Chris. SWL 38, Sam, I saw you on the Facebook side. I'm not sure if you're trying to get a 10-5 from the big stations, from Showdown or whoever out there. Well, we've got you checked in from Byron. Well, Chrissy, are they hearing the skip, or are they just hearing mini grass? If they're hearing the guys from Southern California or Northern California, then you just never know. Good old Central California might be getting in tonight. The band is wide open, so I'm thinking as soon as we get rid of the longer skip, the short E skip might just come right in. SWL 39, shortwave listener number 40.
SWL 40 checking in.
All right, from the crossband, let me find the crossband microphonium, KB6GFD. I got you there. Is the Larry cam going to be fired up tonight, over?
The check-in SDR view is live on YouTube right now.
Live on YouTube. Who would have thought? All right, thank you, Larry. And how would people get that if they wanted it?
You would go to YouTube /Larry785.
Okay, got it. YouTube /Larry785, and that's a local SDR with some pictures and good stuff. All right, thank you, sir. Thanks for checking in, and thanks for the Larry cam tonight, KB6GFD.
K6VLF.
All right, I think I grabbed the right microphones at the right time. You just never know. The Old Tube Radio Network, real radio is glowing in the dark, oldtuberadio.net. There's a video thing going on, or you can join us live right here, Channel 11 at 27085. Neil, I'm glad you're in 147. I want to get you in while you are here, and congratulations on the retirement. Is that the right word? I saw and I heard the video. Pretty cool. So thanks for taking time out of whatever celebration you're doing to join us tonight. Snow in Truckee. Yeah, there was big snow coming up at the 4,000 or 5,000 foot level, Lake Almanor to the north. Did we get any rain? This is what the rain does when you're out in the rain trying to check stuff just for a little bit in the wind. It does that. That's the kind of storm it was. It dropped 15 degrees, 20 degrees, did its thing, and it's on its way. One of those big anti-M things. It's not tornadoes, but we're on the West Coast. Spring weather with traces of summer. You just wait. You just wait, Neil. We're sending you traces of winter again. Anyway, congratulations on the retirement, on the moving on up, as they say. And let me get you officially on the 147. Play us a little OTR tune. Before we get out of here. Thanks. We are doing direct to net roll call. Feel free to break in if I've missed you. I'm looking for the right page here. SWL 41. Road Dog 507. It's right there, checking in. Tri-County React, Hudson Valley, New York. A good evening to everyone. All right, we'll get you officially checked in. At least that part's working. I don't think we have any pictures tonight. I'm going to try my best, but even the Rolodex database was giving me some big error message. So I hope it's not down for the count, but you never know. SWL 42. SWL 43. SWL 44. Let me get our proxy. Probably not a proxy. He's probably right there. 360 a check-in. He's probably listening to the mini grass and everything else. I tried to put in some more noise ducking. The room is really noisy tonight thanks to some other things going on. So so I apologize if there's, for those listening in, if there's lots of noise coming in. SWL 45, Paul and Kelly, we've got you checked in. I don't think the snow level came down to where you guys were, but I bet it was cold up there. SWL 46. I hope Mike was not out traveling today. SWL 47.
Hawaii. Hey, Wiki Wack, you want to tell that radio club, man? You said hello. You want me to patch this through, man? I don't know if I qualify, man. I don't know if I...
Here it is.
To do that for you. Come on.
Hey, Greg is talking to the mini grass. We're going to get a relay here. Before he fades out. Greg's on the solid state tonight. Anyway, Wiki Wack, we heard the relay. Direct net roll call. Try 47 again.
All right, Wiki Wack, I will try to...
Here we go.
Network, man. The old Tube network. Wiki Wack want to put a wave from the Hawaiian Islands to y'all. Man, I hope I'm making the video gate, no doubt about it. Hey, Wiki Wack, I hope I'm making it, man. I'm cruising this ground. Come on down.
All right, the big Yesu sounding good from one to another. We've got to a Wiki Wack and the relay here at oldtuberadio.net. Thanks.
I'm running the FT101E. I'm running the modified Shockwave. I got a different hat on mine.
Yeah, he's got the WA1 HLR 101. Those radios do sound good. We used to check them in. And Colt K, yes, this is what, when you jump out into a rainstorm minutes before the old Tube Radio Network, this is what happens. And there was no time to go into makeup, right, before we hit airtime. The 101 sounding good. Direct net roll call, SWL 48.
Man, you know, I'm not trying to channel hog. I'm just trying to hold a conversation, at least a decent conversation. Come on.
SWL 49. And Al, I'm on a special AM setting tonight. It was supposed to sound good over the air. I didn't know how it would sound on the Universal Media Netweb, but we're trying. Plus, I put the Optimod back in line. Back over here, the Optimod. Watch the high-frequency light. Shh, shh, shh. There they go, right there. Shh, 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 shh. Those are the high-frequency lights. They're going on the Optimod. Let's go to SWL 50.
Wiki Wack, I hope you make that tube radio contact the pass through from Hawaii, man. Really do. Man, well, I'm just cruising this custom Yozu, my Bama 210. My Bama 210 Yozu coming out the islands. I'm getting down.
Yeah, Greg, tell him to tune in oldtuberadio.net. He can actually hear how good he sounds. Of course, we're a mud duck. SWL 51. SWL 52. Try it. 52. Okay, I can hear you on the FM. You're checked in. Let me give you a confirmation there. You are checked in on the FM, KB6GFD.
Thank you, sir. Yep, still behind the gold microphone, just on a completely different frequency. K61.
Navajo Pro looking fantastic. My friend, my big brother, you take care to the boys and girls. I said aloha and enjoy your evening. You already know who it is working this great big custom Yozu and this shockwave coming out the islands. I'll see you.
There's good audio on that 101. I've got a 101. I used to run one on the net here, believe it or not.
I'll go over to 7.5.
Real deal. I do hear, man. Real deal in the codes.
Got a proxy check-in for SWL 54. How about SWL 55?
Who is that on the shockwave?
SWL 56.
Yeah,
Good evening, Dennis from the net, 56. Well, I've got you here. I had a power supply issue with a little snap, bang, and flash. I'm still using it. Is there any AC hum or any anomaly in the transmission over?
No, actually looks pretty good. I'm going to bring the S meter up. I think you were about 20 over, which is where you're normally at. I think you're doing good over.
Okay, thank you, Dennis. Power supply seems to work. It just barked at me and gave me a little flashbang. Don't know what, why, or how, but thanks, Dennis. Back to OTR.
All right, and something wasn't happening. No, you sound good. Audio's good. No AC note, no buzzing, none of that stuff. I see forward movement on the S meters, so it was one of those things. But hopefully it doesn't happen again. Over.
I'm telling you, we did say hello. You're looking real good. They call me Showdown, working this great big custom.
All right, Showdown on the Yaesu, checking everybody in tonight. SWL 57, Central Kentucky. Is it getting kind of quiet out there? SWL 58?
Yeah, I heard that, man. Well, you keep up the good work, big brother. There's a lot.
SWL 59. Uncle Hairball is in. I saw him earlier on the Universal Media Netweb.
Going out there, man. I'm going to see what the rest of the world's going on.
X in the square for OTR. Mr. Uncle Hairball, thank you for joining us on the Old Tube Radio Network. SWL 60. I don't know if you can hear me, Joe, through the noise.
Yeah, I know the noise is pretty bad, but we're going to say evening time to all the fellas out there.
Hey, Wicked Whack, Big Shot, and Honolulu, Breaker.
They call me Showdown. I'm cruising the Pacific.
All right, now Big Shot is Wiki Whack. We need to have a simulcast with Greg tonight. He could check everybody in.
SWL 60, checking in.
All right, Joe, you are sounding good locally and all over the place via Universal Media Netweb and Skipland. Thanks. All right, Joe is in SWL 61. Dino. 61, you're good. 61 over. Now that is good. We got between Showdown and WikiWhack and the Universal Media Netweb and everybody else. That was a quickie there. SWL 62.
I'm cruising the mail. I'll see y'all.
SWL 63.
I found a gray hair. Hey, 99, I found a gray hair, man. Well, I found two actually. 99.
I don't even have. Do I have the preamp on? I don't think I do. I've got the negative preamp on. These guys are still 20 over. SWL 64.
See you. Hey, WikiWhack, Showdown. Come on.
Oh, Craig is in SWL 64. Craig, we got you.
Take care, 99. I'll see you later. Good hearing you coming out here around the Kingdom of Hawaii. 99, Big Shot, rock and roll.
And I'm listening in for Dwayne. I mean, if he's hearing Mini Grass, he's probably not hearing us. If he's hearing Greg, if he's hearing the guys down in L.A., he might hear us. So I will listen and have Dwayne, key up, and maybe he can get a relay from the Mini Grass tonight. 64 is in SWL 65.
Yeah, 99. I got a whole bunch of them trying to go.
SWL 66.
Doubt about it.
And Craig, we do have you.
I'm trying to roll up in Big Shot Radio, right?
SWL 67.
Yeah.
Bill in Canby. I got to check in for Bill in Oregon. Thank you, Bill.
Take care. Showdown. I'm on the mirror.
SWL 68. That's Michael in New York. He checked in as soon as we came on the video tonight, so I got him in.
Roger, 99. Take care.
Well, Dwayne, I want to be where you're at. You're not hearing anything but the local stuff. Where there to be local stuff. So, yeah, check to check to see if the antenna's on. SWL 69, Kenny. Wherever you're watching, what day it is, it could be right now, it could be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We've got you checked in. Look for the checked in SWL 69 at the top of your screen.
Big Shot, getting down.
Hello to Jed United Delta X-Ray 183.
Roger, I'll see you later.
And also United Delta X-Ray 76, JG Mopar. Thanks for joining the Old Tube Radio Network tonight from Central California, where the skip is rolling, SWL 70. And I should mention that we are definitely going to be talking with some old tube radios tonight.
All right, man. Show the Big Shot for me. Tell him
I think we've got some new ones. I think we've got some ones that will be for sale.
You doing your man?
So stay tuned after the roll call. It will be a bit quieter. Things will calm down. SWL 71. I'm going to get a proxy for Stan in tonight. He may be doing some contesting. I did not get on the air at all today. The 2-bit laptop from the 2-bit radio checking in, Jake. We've got you. We've got you on the air with an X in the square. SWL 72. SWL 73.
Hello, 131.
Got a proxy for 74.
Down this ground plane, I see you.
Red Fox 1, SWL 76 is Rhode Island, and I was looking at the screen. I see Columbus, Ohio. So I did Plymouth, Minnesota, but nothing from Ohio, from Rhode Island yet. Also, if I missed it, I want to say hello to Captain Robert, who is listening in. I hope you are feeling better tonight. Thanks for taking some time out and tuning in the old Tube Radio Network. SWL 77. Yeah, Captain Robert, you are definitely checked in. We have the multiple honks from the Bozo Control Proboscis. I'm putting a proxy check in for 77. SWL 78. Keep an ear out for Richard from Wild Wildemore, SWL 79. SWL 80. Don't forget to feed the fish. We got to remind you at the break between page 3 and page 4. You know what? And it was a shame. They were out just this morning washing the big red and the big blue limousines, and then it rained. But they do that anyway. They wash them no matter what. They're just a routine. They always look good on the inside and the outside, and doing great things. In fact, I had to go somewhere, and they dropped me off. I said, "Oh no, I'll walk." And they said, "No, you get in, and we'll give you a ride." So that was pretty cool. Always fun to be in the limousine. Let's go to SWL 81. Let me bring the S meter up. This is what's going on here tonight. I'm going to flip on the preamp. Oh, it is on. I've got the negative preamp and the preamp on. That's why. I thought maybe if I turned one of them off, it wouldn't be so bad, but that's it.
We'll see you later. Let me ease on out of here. Go enjoy your beer, man. I'm going to enjoy the one you cracked open for Mr.
Directing that roll call is where we're at. How about Ron, SWL 82? I'm not sure you can hear me through all of that.
Hello, 131. Ground plane, and this is Yezu Clear.
SWL 82? I was looking for the real-time DX map. It's not updated because I can guarantee you it's whatever they're showing me isn't correct. So much for a real-time map here tonight.
I can do some talking, man. And ease on out of here so the big mouth can do some talking, because Lord knows that big body got some big lungs on that plugging in. Mr. B.I.G. in the kingdom is clear. You hear?
Back to directed net roll call. We are listening for SWL 83. Let me bring the page back. Jay-Z was in. I think he was in early. Jay-Z from Ohio. I know you're in there. I got you checked in. SWL 84. We'll do the big time 86, 87, and 88. That's the Cheerios Kid, the Mountain Maid, Tandy Girl and Snowy Owl, respectively, tuning in. SWL 89. SWL 90. Felix, are you making it through the skip land tonight? SWL 91. Oh, there he is right there. Saying hello to all the shortwave listeners and old tube radio operators. And there is Ron on the screen. I see you, Ron. Yeah, you know, you mentioned last night about how nice things were. You get the calls from Australia, so like they knock on the door. Are they, please, Mr. Net Control, can I check in now? That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen on AM. But anyway, we got you checked in. 82, I'll make it official. Big Rich 6520. Good evening, and all is well. As you can hear tonight, Rich, the skip door is wide open to the Pacific.
Checking in from the ditch pigs of Biola. All I can do is transmit. All I hear is big island.
Well, if you're listening on the stream, it should be coming in right now. You can hear how well you are making it over the skip tonight. Not a bad signal at all. And that is why he's the net control on Friday evenings, the Ditchbank sideband net, to check it out 8 p.m. Pacific time on channel 36 lower, 27365, 8 p.m. on Fridays, sideband. Everybody's welcome. There's a chance for everyone to get checked in, and you will hear that voice of Mr. Ron, Mr. Bones, SWL 82. Thank you.
Let me ease on out of here and get them kangaroos do a little talking. I'll let you begin in. 131. I'm clear. Bye-bye.
Someday I'll borrow that 50,000 watt radio. We'll have that beam pointed, about 270 degrees, and give them a little bit of their own medicine. Let's go to SWL 92. Mr. Roman. SWL 109. Crawdad, can't hear me through the skip. I bet you are getting hammered up there from the Island Boys. 109. Let me get you checked in now, because if you took a break from whatever you were doing and at the other radio, there it is. I will put the 109 up on the screen. The Kentucky Derby was today. Did Bozo Control win the Kentucky Derby? I don't know if they were entered in there. Let's go to 92, Mr. Roman. And he's right there checking in from North Idaho, like every week, indeed. So 92, I've got you. And keep listening. I'm thinking once we lose the long skip, we might get some short E-skip up your way. SWL 93. Shortwave listener 95. Warthog 95. SWL 97, Jim in Boston.
Let them know the hammer hit hard, the hammer hit hard. Hey, 131, you let them know. Big Shot said the hammer hit hard. Bye-bye-bye.
SWL 98. And we do have a couple of Echo Link links that I will get to. Tracy, I bet you are there, or you might be listening in at a later time, or maybe you're listening in at an earlier time. You've got that travel machine. I will put the X in the square. Over. SWL 99. Where's Radio Randy? That's all we need is another over-the-top skip guy talking to the mini-grass.
I'll see you. Bye-bye-bye.
Your mom is watching. Oh, you're talking about the Kentucky Derby. I thought your mom was watching the old Tube Radio Network. So I really like that guy with the pocket protector. Okay, that's good. And hello from Pittsburgh. Loud and clear. Everything is loud. I'm not sure about clear tonight. Is Tony on the Echo Link link? I do not see Tony, but I will get Tony checked in. SWL 100. If he stops by, we will grab him on the Echo Link. Actually, let me know while we're talking about that. Let me see what's actually working, and I will grab. I know it's a little bit early, but I will see if I can grab Tony on the Echo link here tonight. AJ6PD, Kilowatt Bravo 6, Germany, France, Denmark. Hello, Tony on Echo link. Over. Let's see if we can get Tony on Echo link if he's listening. If not, we'll pick him up in a moment here. He might have stepped away. Let me try Al on the Echo link. KI6CBA from Kilowatt Bravo 6, Germany, France, Denmark. Hello, Al. Take a transmission if you can hear me. See if we can get Al on the Echo link. Oh. All right, I heard you. The audio was a little bit low, but I did hear you. Over.
Hey, 131, I'm rocking on.
And hello, Tony. I got you checked in on the old Tube Radio Network, KB6GFD. All right, back to live radio here. SWL 102. That would be John in Arkansas. I've got an X in the square for you, John, 102. And likewise, an X in the square for SWL 103, saying hello radio right now. Tango Romeo 21 X-ray. Hello, Joy, checking in and has a radio question later in the program. All right, later in the net when we're doing radio stuff. We'll see if we can't get an answer, or at least let you ask the question and maybe try and get an answer as well. X in the square for 103. SWL 109, Mr. Crawdad, checking in over the Universal Media Netweb, thanks to the craziness of Skipland. Heading over to SWL 110. Shortwave listener 111. I'm looking. I didn't see Robert checking in tonight. Usually he does. Somebody was trying on the 2-meter. I've got rain on the leaves around the 2-meter antenna. Maybe that's doing a bad thing. And hello to John. Thanks for joining us again at the 279 mile post 45 in Alaska. Always good to have you listening in. You never know what you can grab over the air. We got some Skipland tonight. SWL 113. All right, let me try through the skip to see if Rickshaw can hear me. SWL 114.
114, checking in.
All right, not only do you have a good transmitter, you have a good receiver as well. Thanks, Wayne. We've got you checked in. Yeah, 27085, channel 11, which is, people say, well, why are you on 11? Why can't you go up to channel 12? Well, we are here on 11 because a lot of the tube radios back in the day, if they came with a crystal, if they came with a channel, if they came with a frequency, it was typically channel 11. Just about every old tube radio you find that is crystal controlled, and they all are basically, most of them, will have channel 11. So that's how channel 11 got picked, and it has worked out well. Occasionally, you know, during these sunspot cycles, as we're in cycle 25 right now at the peak, we will have a little bit of RF malfeasance. But in the meantime, we do our best to do what we do, and that is to talk about, check in, and gather information about the tube radios here on the old Tube Radio Network. Let's go to SWL 128. And I see you, John. Had to scroll up, calling it quits. Okay, yeah, I just got to check out early tonight, so I do have you checked in to watch the replay. No problem. We stopped by. Hello to Hemorrhoid, stopping by the old Tube Radio Network tonight. Let's go to SWL 131. SWL 133. If you can make it through Showdown, give it a shot. SWL 135.
you can hear me through all this, SWL 135 checking in.
You're sounding good, 135, and we got you checked in through all of that. Over. SWL 137. And I'm going to try Tony again on the Echo Link. AJ6PD, Kilowatt Bravo 6, Germany, France, Denmark. Hello, Tony. So we can get a check-in from Tony up in Korskjold, who does the...
AJ6PD
there he
on
is.
the crossband.
Oh, on the crossband. All right, we've got multiple ways to do this. AJ6PD, KB6GFD. I actually hear you on the two-way radio machine. Over.
Hey, thanks. I heard you on the Echo Link. Thank you for the check-in.
All right, where there's a will, there's a way through the skip on some frequencies somehow. You are sounding good, and thanks for checking in. KB6GFD. All right, Tony, up in the hills of Korskjold, where I'm sure they got a lots of rain today. Saying hello, radio. So 145 is checked in. 147, Neil checked in just a bit early. Getting ready to retire out of the university there, but I'm sure he will still be playing the jazz. They just have to keep track. Maybe he's got a way to subscribe to a channel or something, so we can find out where Neil is going to be doing his thing. Let's go to SWL 188, Bobby. And hello to United Delta X-Ray 510, joining us on the Old Tube Radio Network tonight here on the West Coast, where we still have lots of, even though the sun is down, we're past our gray line, going into the gray line of the Pacific, and lots of noise tonight. 428 and the Squamish Boys standing by. While I have you on the line, I pulled up the receiver earlier, and it was there, and I'm checking it now, and it looks like it is having some connectivity issues, but I will keep listening for it tonight as we go along, because typically it is there, but right now it is not locking up, and I don't know why. That's very, very unusual, but we'll keep an ear on. The Old Tube Radio Network looking for SWL 195 Korskjold. I'm going to get Jim checked in, 195 Korskjold. Probably can't hear me, but I bet he will stop by at some time. And I'm getting also Jeff, Mr. Shockwave 226 checked in, because I did see Mariposa up there. And anybody else want to see if they can jump in and make a check-in before we go to the radios, the Old Tube Radio Network listening? And Rob, I see you. I see you. It is E-skip time. I'm surprised we're just not having more of the E-skip rather than the type of skip that we are having. We did get some rain today. Let me see if I can grab a shot. How would I do that? I don't know. I don't know how we would do that. There it is. And we did get snow up in about 5,000 feet snow today, not like the snow they get up there in Colorado where Rob is, and dust the antennas, but it will be time to do antenna work there shortly up there near Woodland Park. Thanks for joining us, for listening in and beaconing. You always let us know when we're making the trip on the E-skip. All right, I will be back in a moment out of the air chair, setting the radios up for tube time, and back with your tube radios in moments, the Old Tube Radio Network.
131, look around my neck of the woods, man.
Oh, well, I'm still here, and I'm messing up my microphone. SWL, I will make sure that we have an X. I want to put an S in there, an X in the square for SWL 31, believe it or not. Robert and Teresa, Hendersonville, Tennessee. One of our early on and first digital listeners way long time ago, like 10 years ago. Has it been that long? That's for the digital side. For the not digital side, we've been going almost 40 years. Anyway, good to hear you all on the old Tube Radio Network tonight, and maybe we will check in some of your favorite radios. I'm going to be out of the air chair for a second. I will be back, and when I am back, we'll be talking radios. The old Tube Radio Network standing by. It is wacky. It is wild. We'll do our best to get some radios in tonight. It should be interesting. The Old Tube Radio Network, Central California 27085, streaming at oldtuberadio.net, and who knows where else. Let's check in some Tube radios.
You may not find us on your TV because in case you did not know, we're being brought to you by
OTR.
Brought to you by
27.085 megahertz.
Brought to you by RADI.
The Old Tube Radio Network.
RADIO, the Old Tube Radio Network. Real radio's going in the dark. My name is Dennis, one of the many net controllers to sit in the air chair right here for the Old Tube Radio Network since 1986. I think it is. I don't remember. It's been so long ago. All I know is we have a good time on Saturday evenings. Hopefully you do something like this wherever you are, whatever time it works out for you. We've been talking about and tuning in and tuning up the Tube radios for a long time. So I will keep it short so we can get as many radios checked in as possible before we have to skedaddle out of here. The Old Tube Radio Network is listening. For any and all check-ins, but especially those that glow in the dark. There's a veritable hornet's nest out there. All right, there. If I put the amplifier, the receive amp on.
SWL 60.
Yeah, that's what happens if I put the receive amp on. Maybe I'll do a negative amp and see if we just hear the local guys. SWL 60. Hello, Joe.
Hello, Dennis. I hope I'm making some kind of a trip to you. At least making it to you and nowhere else. Dennis, I'd like to check in my 223, my 10 tuber, 23 channels.
All right, E.F. Johnson 223. I have a rumor tonight that we're going to actually hear another E.F. Johnson radio, when the one that came a couple of models before that might even be for sale. So let's give everybody a taste of what Edgar F. Johnson and company did in the 1960s. The 223 was their top of the line, last of the line tube-style radio. Over.
Oh, most definitely there, Dennis. Doggone it, a beautiful radio. A solid radio. If a guy's going to purchase a radio, this is one to purchase. There's no benefits to the back of it because it's AC. I don't think it can be put into a mobile or anything like that, but pretty nice solid radio. I have a good lighted the display on the front with the channel selector and your whatchamacallit there, doggone it. I got a good 4x4 speaker. It's got a volume and it's 12 and very simple to operate.
Snowman showed up.
It's simple to operate because they kept it simple. You've only got two knobs on the front. I like the Rolodex is completely down here tonight. Sometimes I could finagle getting some pictures of the radio, so we'll have to do the words eye view. And they kept it simple for a reason because you basically just needed to do base to mobile, unit 1 to unit 2. So you got to turn it on. You got to squelch out the noise like we can't do tonight. And then you've got to dial in whatever channel you need. And it's nice having an S meter. That was a plus, and a lot of the big base stations had that, so they added it to the Messenger 2, 23 channels, and a good deal. And they also gave you a really cool, actually it was an add-on, a really cool desk microphonium that says Johnson on it. I'm not sure if you've got that or not. Over.
Yes, we are. We're running the original Johnson desk mic, and it has the Johnson logo on the head. And like I say, it's a simple radio, but from like base 1 to the mobile, of course, good solid radio, good looking radio, and like I say, the S meter and the channel selector are both where you can see them, and you don't have any problems. Well lit, they did light them right.
You take out here 170.
And most of these used, I think they all used incandescent bulbs. This is way before there was LEDs. Some of them had neon bulbs and things like that. And all the lights are still working in that thing. That was the big thing. Sometimes the lights would go up, but they were really easy to replace because it's just a bulb you press in and away you go.
Yeah, no problems with the lights on this one. Particularly, it's well lit, like I say, and no problem. Okay, Dennis. I'll get this one out of here and get another one warmed up.
All right, E.F. Johnson, Messenger 223. I was just scrolling through to see if I have an alternate picture. Anybody's watching or listening for the first time. This is one of the radios that we often recommend if you see. In fact, I think I just found one from Damon Viok. Let me see if it will let me get the image address in there and bring something up for those who are watching the video, or if you're at oldtuberadio.net, it might bring in the picture. Yeah, there it is. And it's got the desk mic, the base station, the 22 channels, the lit background. It's not just a little light shining on a number. They have the whole back of the channel selector thing lit up right next to the meter, so a nice way to do that. But very cool radio, solidly built, and not a lot of plastic on that. Very lots of metal, convection cooling on the top. Always runs perfectly and cool. There it is, Messenger 223. All right, thank you, Joe, for getting us started off with the first radio, and we'll look for some more.
Thank you, Dennis. Doggone it, always a pleasure on this end to check you 223. And your channel selector is all white, but number 9 is red, of course. And that was a good feature. Quick feature to give you. Okay, Dennis, thank you. We'll warm up.
I'm just waiting on it.
All right, very good. And just a reminder, we are here in Central California, so typically if you're over the air, and even when it's quiet, we might have a 20 to 50 mile range, depending on if the hills around the Central Valley here, Fresno, Clovis, Madera, Sanger, Selma area. And the only way we can typically be heard over the air in other California locations would be to have the sporadic E-skip or the tropoducting, where we might hear stations from Southern California or Northern California. It does happen. It should be happening this year at Cycle 25. We've only had one of those happen once this year. Otherwise, it's easy to tune in to the program, to the net at oldtuberadio.net. on your Universal Media NetWeb device, where often we can show some pictures as well as the radios check in, or you take the link at the top of the page on oldtuberadio.net that will take you to the video and a little bit more of what is happening here. But in the meantime, hopefully you can do something like this where you are at. Don't rely on us. You can do your own thing. All right, the Old Tube Radio Network, jingle singers want to do their thing, and then we'll be listening for Radio 2 on the Old Tube Radio Network.
How do you do? Ladies and gentlemen, greetings to you. Wherever you are, your favorite slot on the dial by far is known to you as
OTR, the Old Tube Radio Network.
the station for you is
OTR.
Listening for radio number 2.
Should I even bother giving it a try?
Oh, yeah, you sound fine. Over.
Okay, if you say so. Okay, this is SWL 135, and I just want to say, let's see, hey, looks like that actually came through. Yeah, happy Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. Okay, let's see, enough of that. If I'm still getting through, this radio is from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and the, let's see, the International Manufacturing Company. This is the International Crystal Manufacturing Company's CTC-100. There are 12 crystal-controlled transmit channels, and you get all 23 receive on the VFO. It's a VFO pretty much only for the receive. You're coming in here incidentally at 20 over, very nice signal on the separate, external speaker slash S meter. Which also has 2 tubes in it for a total, let's see, that's a total of 11 tubes. There's 9 in the radio and 2 more in the speaker unit. The microphone here currently is, I'm not using the original. Want to try to get some extra audio out. This is a Turner Plus 3B, as in Bravo, desktop type microphone. Back to you.
Turner microphone on the Crystal Executive, International Crystal Company's Executive CTC-100. Looking good and sounding good on the Old Tube Radio Network. I have a picture when it's not the right picture because the database, the Rolodex is down. I'm going to see if I can bring it up here on the video screen. And this is from eBay. I just want to let people know this is an eBay radio that we're seeing. It's actually, I think it's for sale now. Lots of nice little knobs and dials and transmit selectors and tune knobs and receive items and operate and calibrate, and the funky little speaker right in the front. Over.
Oh yes, and it's not a bad sounding speaker either. But let's see, I've got the what is it? The 5x7 inch external speaker, which sounds even better. 20.
And 20, jump into the green room. You'll be radio number 3 after Cliff.
Okay.
I just had to cut in there, huh, Harvey?
Yes, I'm cutting in.
This is cutting. Oh, hey, I have a shot of the back. And I like the way they put the power cord right through the middle of the compliance. This unit complies with rules and regulations, and there's the cord running right through that of the Class D operation. Power requirement, 115 volts AC. Gives you the tube complement, 6BA66AQ5. And you have a mic gain. You have a mic gain knob in the back. Over.
Yes, there's a small white plastic mic gain knob, which I have pretty much turned all the way up. It just backed off just a little so it doesn't act weird. And it seems to work reasonably well with the amplified microphone here. Yeah, lots of stuff on it. There is a turn on and offable squelch. You actually have to click it into the on position and then rotate it all the way to the right to get it to go off again. So that's kind of strange. I say your choice of any 12 of the 23 channels that you can plug into this thing. I have this particular channel plugged into the channel 11 space. I thought that appropriate, channel 11 in the channel 11 space.
That helps the operator to remember on a Saturday evening where they should be. A shot of inside the radio showing those in crystals. I like the way they kind of pack them in. You got a couple that are horizontally positioned. Let me see if I can show another shot. Here's some more of the tubes. The big honking transformer, the speaker in the front, more tubes, and the radio. Oh, with a little operational light. Now that's nice. Always nice when you get a little bit of the orange glow light under the squelch knob over.
Yeah, that one lets you know that the radio is on, and then just above the microphone plug is a red light, which is currently flashing reasonably well, neon, letting me know that I have modulation. So it's got a modulation light. And I forgot to mention the word that's all over the place on this thing is executive. I guess this is a CTC-100 executive. Both the radio and the external speaker say it in great big red letters, and somehow I forgot about it. Back to you.
Well, how could you forget when the executive's there, and even on the back, International Crystal Manufacturer, and it's from, like you said, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. So, hooray to Oklahoma. There's the power plug. It's got a reset. And then what I don't have, but what we will talk about here is there's another plug or jack in the back. It looks like it says ACC, and I'm thinking that is something you have plugged in that gets you to the external speaker, over?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That little accessory jack requires a plug plugged into it with a couple of couple of the pins jumped, just in order for it to work properly. If you want that speaker to work in the radio, you got to have that plugged in. Otherwise, I have mine currently pulled out, and yeah, the external speaker / S meter is plugged into that very socket. Back to you.
All right, thank you. Sorry about those watching on the video. Just had a big screen crash here and was throwing everything off. But I think we've got the radio back in line where it should be. Sounds good. Oh, you know what? I forgot. I think the Larry cam is on. Let me see if I even have it. Let me see. Okay, that's not going to work. It's really difficult when there is something that doesn't go as planned, and you have 10 things, and it affects all of them. So, all right, we have the Larry cam, but it's not correct. So let me see if I can fix that, because I wanted, because this is a new radio for you. See if I can grab the International Crystal Manufacturer at 3.9. So it looks like the Larry cam has been turned off. Give it one more shot. And okay, no Larry cam. So back to you.
Okay, well, I'll have to check out his feed when it gets posted later on, so I can see what it looks like. If he can even hear me over there, I don't know if I'm making it that far across town with all the skip. It should still be interesting to check out. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention it also. You can, in order to get your VFO receive in the right position, it does have a calibrate switch, which is pretty much a spot. It's a spot switch, but it's marked calibrate. That's all it does. You're calibrating your receive, and it works quite well. Thanks for letting me check it in, and we'll turn it over to Harvey, I guess. The ICM CTC-100 executive. Oh gosh, what was that? And we'll catch you next week. Stop there in the desert.
All right, well, I'm trying the Larry Cam again. It always seems like it wants to bring up the wrong thing here. So let me try the audio if you can hear you at all. We can hear you. I think it's just hearing skips, so it's going to be very difficult to tell who's who on the Larry Cam. I think that's you, though. There's somebody at 27085, and there's a hook, and then there's a kind of a wobbly little carrier going on, and it's slowly making its way to 27085. So I think that's you on the Larry Cam. That's a nice thing about old tube radios. They have their distinctive key up versus the key down. They have their audio, so you can often tell when they are transmitting, even if you can't hear them. Over.
Is it hooking up or hooking down right now?
It does an up hook, and then it's off, or it's lower on frequency, and as you talk, it slowly makes its way almost to right on frequency. Over.
Okay, yeah, according to my meter, I'm just the teeniest bit high in frequency, but hopefully, yeah, well within your bandwidth and close enough. Again, thanks for letting me check it in. Yeah, I don't get too much of an opportunity to check it in, especially when it's dripping wet and freezing cold out here. Catch you next week.
All right, yeah, it is a little cold. I can see the hook coming in, some other things, but yeah, it's a little bit noisy. If things calm down, we'll be able to do it. But thanks, Larry. I finally got the right picture up. But this will be archived, so like you said, you can go in and kind of decipher for yourself. You'll be able to listen to the audio and see what is going on. Back to the control room, the old Tube Radio Network. Did I write you down? Yes, radio number 2, the International Crystal Manufacturing Company. I'm sitting here. My hair it's getting worse, isn't it? Crystal Manufacturer CTC-100. And is there a pen? Somebody reminded me that we're supposed to do a pen. Is this it? Harris Broadcast Technology Training Center. Well, this is a pencil. I'll just take a moment here, and then we'll pick up Harvey. Where is the less than stellar close-up cam? So I don't know. I don't know if this is an actual thing that's is this one of the ones Harris Broadcast Technology Training Center? Because that's more of a OTA broadcast. I'll put it in. It'll fit in the pocket protector. And why is the camera? This camera is really dark in the front, so I'm not sure if I want to fix that or not. Anyway, the old Tube Radio Network, jingle singers are going on, and then Harvey, step up into the air chair and we'll be with you in moments. You're listening to the old Tube Radio Network.
How do you do? Ladies and gentlemen, greetings to you, wherever you are. The friendliest nation for you by far is known to all as
OTR, the old Tube Radio Network.
The station for you is
OTR.
The station for you, and maybe even you, the old Tube Radio Network, at 27085, channel 11 AM on your glowing in the dark, or maybe not, radio tonight, along with the skip land, beaconing everywhere at oldtuberadio.net. Look for the glowing 6L6 tube. That's how you know when we are on. When something is happening, you will notice that the tube on the left side of your device will be glowing orange. Be careful not to touch it while we're on the air. Give it a few minutes to cool off after the program, and then it's safe. It'll be safe to put the phone back in your pocket. Hello, Harvey, if you can hear me. Over.
Yeah, I can hear you. The question is, can you hear me? The Johnson Viking 5-channel radio, ice cream cone mic, with the logo in it, nice and prominent, looks pretty good.
It looks good and sounds good. That's not the radio I have up, so I'll see if I can get a nice shot of a Johnson Viking. This was their first entry. E.F. Johnson, who made very heavy, very large, very high-powered transmitters that included 11 meters, but not the Class D band. When 1958-59 rolled around, of course, they had to stop putting the non-Class D in their transmitters, but E.F. Johnson, Edgar F., and the crew decided they would actually get in right at the beginning of the Class D citizen radio service. And this is the radio that you will hear again in just a moment. The radio that did it for them, and they sold quite a few. They made 3 different models, but to take another transmission, Harvey, I'll see if I can find a Johnson Viking, the Messenger, the Whiteface, whatever it's called, that was their 1959 up through who knows when they made these 65, 66 radio.
Roger. Okie dokie. Yeah, this thing does about 5 to 12 or something like that. I'm not sure. I have the modulator on right now. It's for sale. $75 for this one, plus shipping if needed. Right now it has channels 1, 9, 11, 13, and 17 in it. Whoever buys it, I'll do my best to put in whatever channels they want. I have hopefully enough crystals to do that. Hopefully they'll want channel 11, which is in the C position, the 3rd position, and we can go from there. Also, I've been working on some Browning Golden Eagle Mark III SSBs. The second one was just finished, and it's going to be shipped out next Wednesday. Receiver, Mark III receiver done. I just have to work on the transmitter for it, which I have, and then I'll have a 3rd set. Anyway, I've been listening on and off on a Mark IV receiver, and I'll pair that with a Mark IV transmitter if I get lucky enough to get one of those working. We'll have that for sale. Anyway, right now, the Johnson 5-channel Viking, the case has been painted silver like the rest of the radio. Looks pretty good. Back to you.
Back to me in the studio. The radio sounds very good. Let me go back to the Larry Cam, which you're there. Let's see if it's...
That's for sale. Anyway, right now, the Johnson 5-channel Viking.
Yeah, he's hearing you well. That's the picture. You're right on frequency with that crystal. Very, very close. And a good 6K audio. Nice full... Because it sounds good, you can see you've got the baseline audio all the way out. And no problem with the transmit. I don't know if that's me or not, but you sound better than I do. Is that me? I know it very well. Wow. He's not hearing me too well tonight. He's hearing you great. Let me go back to the picture. And this is not the one. The picture you see is not the radio that Harvey has. This is not the one for sale, but it's got the Johnson Head logo up in the top left. I think you said you had that. It's got the 2 jeweled lights. You can tell us about that. And then the channel selector is up there on the left, A, B, C, D, E, right? And then volume and squelch. So those are tricky because one of them turns the radio on, but you got to make sure you don't turn it up too high because the volume is the other switch that doesn't turn the radio on. Very plain radio, but let me tell you, it's what they used to say, it's what's inside that counts. These radios are very modifiable for a little bit more output, a little bit more forward modulation, but out of the box they work great. The microphone is typically wired into the side, and whatever microphone you have, Harvey, it sounds good. Back to you.
The 2 jewels, the bottom one is orange, and that's the power on. The upper one is red jewel and does pulsate a bit with your voice. Does flicker and is your transmit light. All the capacitors, electrolytics have been replaced. All tubes were checked and replaced as necessary. And it's got a new 3-conductor cord on it for safety. And as I said, $75 plus any shipping if it needs to be shipped. Anyway, I also have a Messenger 215. Excuse me for the cough. I'll let you know it's me. A Messenger 215. That's a one-channel business band radio. You can get it in 5 frequencies groupings. And this one is in the 25 to 30 megahertz group. The one I've got that I'll be working on. And it will be for sale. I have to put a mic on it, which does get wired in, and a power cord. But if it works, it'll be for sale. Alrighty, and I'll put in whatever channel that the person wants. Hopefully you'll love it. Okay, back to you, Dennis.
All right, thank you, Harvey. Sounds good. Really good audio. Doesn't sound too of anything, and it is nice and loud. So I'm sure you're putting close to 100% modulation in that. The veritable E.F. Johnson. There were 3 models: a 6-volt, a 12-volt, and 115, I think is what they called it back in the time. And just to reiterate, this one that you have for sale is the plug-in-the-wall version, right?
Roger. This could also be set up for 6 volts and 12 volts by wiring the plug different. It's got a 12-volt vibrator in it. If you want 6 volts, you got to get a 6-volt vibrator. I believe this has the vibrator in it. Let me get up and look down in the radio. Yes, it does, I believe, or does it? I'm not sure if it does or not, but I don't think anybody's going to want to run this in their car.
Well, you know, Elvis had one. We have a picture somewhere, or had a picture on the Old Tube Radio website with Elvis's Cadillac or Lincoln or whatever car it was with a CB radio, and it was one of those early 1960 models of E.F. Johnson that everybody wanted to have. All right, thanks, Harvey. Radio number 3, the E.F. Johnson Viking, also known as the White Face, the epitome of what the FCC thought was going to be the Class D citizen radio service. No S meters because you weren't supposed to be giving people radio checks. No VFOs because it's all crystal controlled. And the ability to easily turn the radio on. Don't have to worry about anything. And a couple of pilot lights let you know when you click it on, the radio's on. There was a lot of, in the day, in the 50s, you had radios, you know, your tube radio console. You turn it on, the light would come on. You knew it was on. That way, when you went to bed, you could look to see if that light was on. You go and turn it off. And then the other one just to let you, you know, a little bit of flash and let you know the microphone was running. And that's all you needed to be a Class D radio operator. Of course, you needed a license that you had to purchase. But there it is, the original issue, sounding good, Harvey. Thanks.
Roger. I've got one more. I'll do it later.
All right, this is the do it later frequency, unless you are the jingle singers, and then it is the do it now frequency. What is the latest style? They're going to tell us.
You're listening in the latest style at
27.085 megahertz. Channel 11, Old Tube Radio.
In wonderful
Fresno, California.
That is wonderful, Fresno, California. They're saying the camera is dark, so what I'm going to do is quickly see if I can get the camera property thing. Where is it? Right there, configure video. What are we going to do? Chat is helping me out here. They say is that better? No, then you can see more of me. That's not good at all. All right, we'll do that. It all says too much chroma, too much saturation. This is the Old Tube Radio Network. We're not supposed to look like the NBC Peacock here. All right, something like that. That's awful enough. All right, the Old Tube Radio Network. We're standing by. All right, I heard 60, and was there another station? All right, 60, and was there someone else? All right, you know what I'm hearing? So much skipland. I can't believe we're going to have skipland all through the net tonight. Joe, if you can hear me, I can hear you. Take a transmission over.
Thank you much, Dennis. I'm trying out a microphone here, so let me know what's going on with it. Dennis, I'd like to check in my Robin, T-123B, 11.2, all 23 channels, plus a few extras.
That's right. You are lucky, or maybe it's not so lucky, to have the some extra trickery in the Robin, where I think it's a synthesized crystal, so you may switch in, and it switches in another multiplier crystal. I don't think those were the VCO, or whatever they call it. I don't think that was the item of the day. Checking out a new microphone, and we'll talk about that, because we all kind of know what the T-123B could or should sound like. There is, and I think we've talked to you before on that, the microphone that comes with it it's kind of a tiny little microphone. So you have something different over?
Dennis, we have a D104 inline, and we rebuilt the mic, and we wired it to this radio. We'd like to see if we can get maybe some bugs out of it, if we can continue using it on this radio, or turn around and go back to the stock mic in the meantime. Right now I'm on the range expand, and I can turn it off to see if it sounds any different.
All right, try that. You are definitely undermodulated with that microphone. You are maybe 70%. I can hear you through the skip because you've got a decent signal, but I think for the Robin T-123B, it should be louder. And you're saying the range boost is on, or is it off?
Well, I have it off. I just cracked the mic open a little bit. It's about a quarter of a turn open, but I still have the range boost on.
Okay, that's actually better. What you just did, I think, actually did help with bringing the level up. Take another transmission.
We did turn it up, like I said, a quarter, left the range boost on. And I'm hoping that, we can continue to use the mic. Like I say, it's all been rebuilt. Would you like to hear with the range boost off?
Yeah, just so people can get an idea. And I actually have a picture of the Robin T-123. And which it's the big green machine, but go ahead and take the, you know what it is, don't change a thing. Whatever you did on the audio for the microphone is exactly where you want to put it for that particular setting, but go ahead and give us a range boost off, over.
Okay, I did turn it off there. Like I say, I only turned it up in a quarter turn. And I thought last time, I think it was mentioned maybe because of being amplified, we could run it with the range boost off.
You probably could, although you went back down to sort of where you were before. So if you wanted to run it with the range boost off, you'd have to turn the microphone up. But what happens is the range boost on, and you don't have the microphone overdone, actually adds a little bit of bass frequency in there as well. So I think the setting you had with the microphone in its current setting with range boost on is actually quite good, over.
Okay, that's the range boost back on. I think the first time I did try the microphone, I think it was cranked open. I think it was wide open, in fact. I had just put a fresh battery in it and was planning to use it for this radio. But anyway, if that's working, we can leave it there more or less. Dennis, I'd like to talk a little bit about the radio. It does have a PA and an extra speaker knob on it. There's lights all over it. Excellent channel selector on it. TX light. The mod light does work. It doesn't go overboard in brightness, but it's okay. And you've got your volume, your squelch with a pull knob that adjusts as you, and right now you're perfect. Fine tune, RF gain, and you got your little micro switches that give you an extra 10 channels.
And the 10 channels, this picture courtesy of rigpics.com, because our Rolodex database is down showing channel 14. We would like to show it as channel 11. Range expand that Joe was talking about is a switch under the S meter. He's got it in the on position. You're right about there. Do not turn the microphone up anymore. I think it would sound a little bit, would get it mushy, but right now it's good. You can certainly tell it the difference when you kick the range boost on, and actually add some nice low bass frequencies in as well. The PA light. The other items are the external speaker and the PA. Are those push-in knobs, or do you actually rotate those to get the function?
It's definitely a push-in knob. When you do the external speaker, you push it in, it stays lit for your headphones or the back end of the radio. And your PA, same thing, but you push that in, and it lights up the white light, the little white light that's on the front there, where it says PA. Both of those work, but they do stay engaged until you disengage. And there is a headphone jack in the back, and also a plate and tune for loading it up. However, a guy gets more wattage out of it.
Well, don't need any more tonight. You're making it through whatever noise we have without an issue tonight. The Robin T123B. It says base mobile. We got a nice picture. You can see it right on the front. And it does go mobile. I think there's 2 transistors somewhere in there. They do a DC to DC conversion, or whatever they call it. Allows you to change the plug to have the plus minus for DC, and away you go. If you want to put that in the vehicle, I think we've talked to a couple of Robin T123B mobile radios in our time here at the Old Tube Radio Network, and doing a good job. Let me see. I'm going to lose my picture if I do this. I'm going to go see if Larry Cam has you. I think that's me. Yeah, okay. So I'll have you take another transmission. Yeah, I'll have you do another transmission before you go. So take a transmission. We'll put you up on the Larry Cam. It looks like it's a little bit low on frequency, but the audio is good. Over.
Oh, okay, Dennis. Yeah, I can talk a little bit about those switches. Just right of the meter, and a nice colorful meter it is. Just right of it is a little micro switch, about the size of the width of the meter. Just right of the meter, and just left of the external speaker is the micro switch for the second one that you got to have in up position, the one over to the meter in down position to be on this particular channel.
Got it. All right. Well, it makes it easy. Yeah, there you are. You're actually coming in pretty good.
Just right of the meter, and just left of the external speaker is the micro switch for the second one that you got to have in up position, the one over to the meter.
So you can hear your audio, not bad. Nice full audio. The radio is, 500 hertz low, but it's well within range. And the carrier stays pretty solid once you key up. So you're doing good. Over.
Oh, I appreciate that, Dennis. Then I'll be able to leave this microphone on here and put the original in the little sweet box there and keep it there just in case I do need it. So I appreciate it, Dennis. Doggone, well, we're doing a little dusting in the tube area. We have the lid off right now, and we're doing a little work to it. So good thing. We'll just do that and put the top back on it, and we'll have it ready for next Saturday.
All right. Always like to know when we were going to have lots of radios on a Saturday or whenever we are here at the Old Tube Radio Network. I have the S meter up. Let me save that and get rid of that and go back to the studio. Looking good. We appreciate it. Radio number 4, the Robin T123B. That is a radio that shared its internal workings with quite a few others, courtesy of Panasonic. So if you've got a T-Berry or a Colt or a Gemtronics, you probably have that Robin inside. They just didn't bring out as many functions, or it has different functionalities, if you will, coming into the front panel. But the internal I think plate modulation is the same and always sounds very good. You made Chrissy happy for sure, our Robin fans, because we hadn't had one tonight, and the microphone test is good. I think you just need a little bit of audio which you put into that D104 and all is well, and if it doesn't suit your fancy, you've also always got the nice little cute, minuscule microphone that came in the box.
Oh, that's right, Dennis. And do appreciate it there for sure. Let me check this one in. Okay, we'll get on out of here, and we'll do a little bit more dusting here, listening, and we might get one more radio in if we still got time.
Okay, we'll see. The gray line has calmed down a little bit. I was sort of hoping that we might get, I don't know, some local up and down the state DX. That might not happen before we sign out, so keep an ear out. Just doing a quick check, and the satellite uplink is back, so we will try and give a shout out to the Squamish gang here coming up at the end of the net. The Old Tube Radio Network Real Radio is glowing in the dark. Thanks for joining us wherever you might be and whatever time it might be. If you're watching the replay, and the jingle singers will tell you about the magic that is the Old Tube Radio Network.
What are the magic numbers?
27.085 megahertz, channel 11.
Are the magic letters?
OTR.
Right here in
Fresno, California.
Radio Magic.
Old Tube Radio.
For you.
And we were listening for radio number 5. I've got the RF gain cranked up, or open a little bit, and I've got the receive preamps turned down to kind of minimize the skip land coming in tonight, but you can still hear it.
When you do it that way, what's it do when you hear my ping?
It doesn't do much, because what I do is I take my noise floor down to 0, and I bring the S meter up to 2. So since you're at S7, you are well above any of the trickery I'm doing.
Okay. Well, I'll check this one in after Joe. Alrighty. Now I'll check it in right now. Get it done. The Browning Golden Beagle R68 T68 by Browning Laboratories. Browning Medallion microphone. D10, an amp D104. And I'll just sit by and listening. I used to stand by, but I get tired, so I'm sitting by.
All right, we got hippopotamus wanting to send some cotton picking snow. That's different than the snow we normally get. Your Radio 5 at, gosh, is it 9:52 already? This has been a really, really busy day. But everything has gone well. All the little things I tried to do went well. I didn't have any breaking things here. Kind of rushed around, did some extra equipment checkout and stuff like that. So we're trying to keep the last 10 minutes from having anything wacky. Maybe we'll get some skip land on there. Who knows? The Browning always sounding good. You can't go wrong with that radio. Is Saturday the only time that gets to perform, which is okay. That's why we're here on the Old Tube Radio Network, to get a venue for these radios that may not have a chance to get on the air to key up. But I'm just wondering if you use that as a daily driver elsewhere. Over.
Roger, it's my daily driver. Yes it is. Oh, hang on here. Uh-oh. Let's see. Oh, I had to turn this down for the other radio. Okay. My question for Greg Howe down there, the Browning question. Almost forgot. Okay. On the Mark III receiver, Mark III SSB receiver, when you turn the receive dial, channel selector dial, clockwise, your channel numbers and frequency go down. When you turn it counterclockwise, they go up. Okay? The Mark IV receiver appears to be, and I know that pretty much for sure, is opposite. Okay? When you turn it clockwise, it goes up in frequency, and when you turn it down, when you turn it counterclockwise, it goes down, because I'm doing it right now. But I have another Mark IV receiver on the floor here where the dial is exactly opposite. Has the same VFO in there, but it's got the opposite dial. Now, I wonder if somebody put the Mark III high freak dial in it. I can check that. But I just wondered if Greg has ever heard of some of them going one way, some of them going the other way. What did I just say? They go both ways? Okay, just wondered. So hopefully he was still listening. Thank you, Dennis.
All right, see if they still have some Universal Media NetWeb up there near Big Bear, California. And maybe there were parts interchangeable, so if you had an issue, you could say, well, it's not going to be exactly like you're used to, but we can pull this one out of the 3 and put it in the 4. It's just you got to remember that you've got to turn the dial the other way. But everything else jives in the component parts. I don't know. That could be something as well, but you'd have to pull it out to see. So Greg might know. He's more of an expert on the 3s, I think, but he might know the difference between that and a 4, or maybe someone else who is listening will chime in. Maybe join us next week if they're watching the program on the delay, and just type in and say, yeah, I've got one of those, and this is the deal for that. They have something this to say about that. I think Pat Paulson, you say, I'm going to have this to say about that. You are good for Radio 5 on the Browning Eagle that I'm sure has the dial going the right way. Greg is right there. He says, sorry, I missed that. Somebody was calling me. So he's listening. Harvey, I'm going to let you explain again in 25 words or more. And there's a question for the Mark III, Mark IV receiver. So go ahead once again over.
Roger. Thank you, Greg. Okay. On the Mark III receive dial, Mark III SSB receive dial, you turn it clockwise, the numbers and frequency go down. Turn it counterclockwise, goes up, obviously. The Mark IV is opposite that. I'm looking at one right now. It works, and it's opposite. And all the ones I've seen are opposite, except this one sitting on the floor here has a dial that is just like the Mark III in sequence. It's opposite the Mark IV. And I'm wondering, did they ever make a Mark IV that receiver that worked just like the Mark III? Or did somebody break the dial in that one on the floor here, and they just put the opposite dial in and said, well, at least I have a dial. And it works opposite from what the dial says. In other words, the Mark IV receive dial goes in the opposite direction for your numbers and tuning your channels than the Mark III. Anyway, but I've got one here that's like the Mark III for some reason. But it doesn't power up yet, so I don't have it going. And once I get it going, I hope we'll see. Okay, thank you, Dennis and Greg.
All right, very good. He's listening, so he might have an answer for that. I'm not sure what's different between the was it more of a display? Was it a dial? I guess that was a transmit that had the digital display. Interesting stuff. All right, we'll see if we can get an item on that. In the meantime, Jingle Singers once again, and we'll do some counting and mounting, but we still have time for radios. your radio, of course, so stand by. We'll be listening for you after this special announcement.
Let's do some spelling.
OTR. 27.085 megahertz. Channel 11, Old Tube Radio. Old Tube Radio.
You probably got Greg looking at all his radios, spinning the dials, saying, wait a minute, this one goes this way and this one goes that way. Get a definitive answer. Hello, Joe. 60 for Radio 6, so that'll work.
Thank you much, sir, Dennis. We'd like to check in from World Radio Labs, my little hustler, the Hustler Base. 7 tubes, 8 channels.
I have a picture for that, because that's one of our exclusive radios. So the picture pops up like that World Radio Labs Hustler. I think last week don't have it this week, but last week we had a picture of Leo Meyerson himself, the guy from World Radio Labs, who I just wonder if he ever walked through the lab when they the shop when they were making the Hustler, and he said, "That's a doggone cute radio." Over.
Well, you know, it comes from a little ways down in Iowa. I'd like to see the shop. But doggone it, unfortunately, we can't get to Iowa, so there will be a while there before we can get to that shop. Dennis, this one has a volume knob and a fine-tuning knob, which we just got through tuning it. A channel selector, an extra slot for a crystal in front there, if a guy wanted to put his special crystal there. And you have your squelch and a spotter switch, a meter, and a really nice sounding little speaker, all in one little radio.
The way it was supposed to be, they wanted to keep it simple. We were talking about that with the Johnson, E.F. Johnson Messenger. This is another radio, simple inside with the 7 tubes. This does have the S meter, though, and it's got the tuning knob that kept you from having to spend extra money to buy 23 channels. You just buy the transmit channel that you want. You could tune all 23, listen in, maybe find a frequency that you liked, and then go out and buy your transmit crystal for it. And plus some neat features like the external sockets. You don't have to take the side of the radio, the top of the radio off, and the big blue color, so it looks less industrial. World Radio Labs. You are right. Council Bluffs, Iowa was where Globe and World Radio were at. And just a note for RV, if you're listening, I don't know if you can dial in oldtuberadio.net and punch up the video link button, but you'll be able to see Greg's response or responses to your question. Joe, take a transmission once again. We'll see how you're sounding on the Larry Cam if you're making it through. I think you are. It's starting to get nice and quiet. And we're putting you down for radio number 6. Over.
Yeah, doggone it. I know it's getting a little bit quieter. Doggone it, I hear that in between the clicks there. But Dennis, this radio is well equipped. It's ready to go on or under a car dash. It has its microphone hanger, and it also has no writing on the mic. I think maybe a little emblem fell off of it, but right now we're on a Turner Plus 3 gray bass. It's amplified, and it seems to be working okay with this radio. Ready to go on.
And here's your playback sounding really good. In fact, I'm not coming in as well tonight as I normally do.
Blue mic that comes with it. No writing on the mic. I think maybe a little emblem fell off of it. But right now we're on a Turner Plus 3 gray bass.
And it looks really good. You are pretty much on frequency. It has a little up hook when it cuts in. Nice white audio, like 7K. And loud and good audio flavor, so not a problem. And I know that is on your top shelf. That is a keeper. Over.
Most definitely, Dennis. My prized possession there is on the, like you say, the top shelf. And we keep just about everything away from it that could possibly scratch it. Yeah, we plan to have this one for a while. and hope to check it in for many, many Saturdays.
All right, and that is music to our ears and the shortwave listeners as well, who this is one of the, when Big Blue comes up, people stand up and cheer. Thank you for radio number 6.
Thank you, Dennis.
Yeah, I always have trouble going to the old tube radio network thing on Facebook, so I don't have that post. What do you say?
Oh, you shouldn't have trouble. I don't understand. Just dial it in. The earliest Mark IVs were actually 23-channel sets, so possibly you have an early one, but it would be 40-channel. Love to see a picture of the plastic dial in the receiver. Over.
Tell them it looks just like the dial from the high freak kit for the Mark III. That's what it looks like.
The dial from the high freak kit in the Mark III. All right, very interesting. And Dwayne, I see your observation. You know what I think? Because I'm on the new audio board and it is a little bit tricky to get things going, I think what has happened is I am actually louder than I need to be. I'm looking at the LKFS meter when I'm on, and I think that's what has happened. So I'll have to make an adjustment. Probably what I need to do is turn myself down to match the incoming radios. And that's typically what I try to do so I don't I'm overbearing on the radio. So thanks for that observation. Sometimes with this new device, it's a little bit harder to get things matched. But once I do, it should work out well. So I will endeavor to check that balance control. We strive to give good audio. That's one thing with this feed that I really like to do is make sure that the audio sounds as clear as possible, like you are sitting in front of the radio, just like I am, and hearing the exact same thing. So there you go, Harvey. Hope that answered or helped with your question. Over.
Very good, you are. Oh, somebody keyed up. I was busy checking Facebook, and I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, not a problem. And I think that is Joseph 24.
24.
All right, got you checked in officially. Over. I'm not sure what I said. I will read the response from S9. The earliest Mark IVs were actually 23-channel sets. He says, I'd love to see a picture of the plastic dial in that receiver.
Oh, that I heard. I thought you said something else later. The dial looks just like the high freak dial that would be in a Mark III SSB late model one, where on the front it says CBHF Crystal 1. That dial looks the same. I've got both radios sitting next to each other, a Mark III high freak and this funny looking Mark IV dial.
Okay, doing some counting and amounting here. Over. Let me check I make an adjustment. You know what? I think I turned a little bit on these volume controls, on these plots. A little goes a long way, and I think I took my audio down just a little bit too much. So let me bring that back up, and that should help a little bit. Okay, very good. The Old Tube Radio Network, jingle singers are ready. We're counting and amounting. We're going to be closing down shop here shortly, but there is time for your glow-in-the-dark radio.
You're tuned to
OTR.
your dial reads
Channel 11.
right here in
Fresno, California.
Stay with us
Old Tube Radio.
and be modern.
And the jingle singers are definitely loud tonight out here, listening.
Remember how we say made in America? The Browning received VFO dial, made in England. Printed right on the back of it, and starting with the Golden Eagle receive dial, it says 68R, something like revision, something, and then made in England. And that's in the Golden Eagle, the Mark II, the Mark III, and the Mark IV receive VFOs. All the same.
Wow, I wonder if that was from some other radio, who'd be an English radio manufacturer. The Grundig is German, so there's something for Jimmy and for Mr. Barkett and those guys to figure out what they did.
Roger. Nice reduction gear, VFO. Very, very few problems. I've really never had a problem with it. Anyway, but I was amazed to see that the Mark IVs have the same dial, and it goes backwards, but physically it's the same as the Mark III's dial, or VFO.
But the audio comes out correct, right? The audio isn't backwards?
Well, when I'm speaking, it might be. No, the dial, the dial is physically the same. It's hooked up the same, but the Mark IV goes backwards from the Mark III.
Very interesting. All right, I'm bringing up the... sorry about that. I'm bringing up the audio from the Squamish...
He's driving the OTR.
Uplink.
That's his odometer.
There it is.
Yeah.
Oh, they sound good tonight.
90 kilometers an hour.
Yeah.
Maybe 90 miles if you're in the speed.
All right. Sounds like Peter.
Go a 9 for 90
And they'll realize they're on the item of interest. Coming up. Counting and mounting the old Tube Radio Network. And Greg is saying, says, Harvey, I'm pretty sure I have a 23-channel Mark IV, and for service right now, the factory upgraded to a 40-channel.
How's it going, Dennis? Thank you for opening up the link. 73s.
All of the Mark IV and Mark IV age receivers I've seen go up in frequency clockwise.
Did he open it up?
So, up in frequency, over.
Open there, 428 Winchester.
And then let me get the Squamish guys in here.
Dennis, 428 on the base, checking in my 465. Waving a hand to everybody out there. Great show, Dennis. Take care. 73, see ya. 428, stand by.
Wow, big signal. Big signals in from...
Sitting back, reading the mail. Squamish, British Columbia, waving a hand to OTR.
Wow, even I'm clear almost.
Yeah, guys are looking good tonight. I get on frequency here. There you go. See, last week it wasn't like that. I'm not sure what happened, but this week, big signals. You guys are clear up there, not a speck of skip. And good background noise on the AGC, sounding good from Squamish. Listening in live here on the old Tube Radio Network. All right, back to the control room. Let me turn the audio down and then go back to Harvey. So let me see. Of course, the Mark IIIs go down in frequency when the tuning knob is turned clockwise and the dials are not. Dials are not interchangeable, over.
Correct. The dials should not be interchangeable. Yet this Mark IV that's on the floor here that has got a power supply problem. I think it's just, I think it's a combination of part of the 6.3 volt power supply. But anyway, yeah, its dial is just like the Mark III's high freak dial in that direction. And I looked at it and went, wait a second. And then I looked at this one, which is sitting below here on the bench, and it's going the correct direction for the Mark IV, and it works. The radio receiver works, and all the channels come in right and all that. But I was concerned about that other one. The Mark III high freak dial, replacement dial, model number C-8025. C-8025. The Mark IV's dial is a different number, but I've got a couple of them in a parts bin, but I can't get to them right now. But I know they have a different number. So I guess I'm going to tear this other one apart, this other Mark IV apart, and see if they put a Mark III dial in there. Okay, back to you. Thank you, Greg, down there in Running Springs. Oh, and Dennis, too. Thank you.
All right, and I just wanted to let the S-meter, I've got the S-meter set up so I'm getting a 0 to S1 noise level, so that's why stations that might come in with 10 or 20 coming in with a 7 or 9. But that's a little trick. Get rid of the noise and just, you know, you can lie to people. Say, yeah, you're 9 pounds, good modulation, Chestnut and Herndon. The other thing to do, I don't know if you can tell by the serial number, see if you got an earlier Mark IV, or if there's one of those things like the early ones, we didn't make the transition or we did something blah, blah, blah. And so if you look at the serial number, that will tell you what's going on, but it sounds good. And the lights are starting to go. They're flashing the lights at me. That must be it's time to go. Any other, okay, jingle singers, do your thing, and then I'll say any other stations I want to check in before we get out of here tonight.
You're tuned to
OTR.
your dial reads
Channel 11.
right here in
Fresno, California.
Stay with us
Old Tube Radio.
and be modern.
Yeah, you know, somebody did say Fresno, F-R-E-S, capital N, capital O. Let me go to the shortwave listener list, and in the nick of time, SWL 78 from beautiful Wildemar. I don't know if you guys got rain. We got a little 2-hour downpour drenching here earlier in the Central Valley of California. Radios tonight. Let me go through the SWL. I'm going to go ahead and sign clear here. So if anybody wants to chat on frequency, they can do just that. Radios tonight. There were 6. Who was the most heard manufacturer? We'll find out. SWLs tonight. Remember, you don't have to be on any piece of paper or anything to join us. Just stop on by and make a comment or key up or whatever, right? We've been doing this for a long, long time. And then all of a sudden it was the 21st century and there was streaming and video stuff and it got out of hand. But the base of what we do is right here with the radios, and what you hear is for those of us who remember, right? Back in the day, whatever that means, what CB radio was like. You could turn it on and have a conversation, and because you weren't on your phone because there wasn't one, right? Jackie Gleason would stop, or the Red Skelton Show, or Carol Burnett, and then you'd go over to the radio that was sitting on that little doily next to the color console, and you'd have a good time the rest of the evening. And that's what we do, at least once a week on Saturdays, and get the sound of the radios. You can hear it nice and clear, maybe a little bit off frequency, not a lot of noisemakers or echo. Not that that would be a bad thing, but that's what you heard, and that's what we recreate. Thanks to our tube radio operators. SWL tonight, 17 on 1, 15 on 2, 12 on 3. I bet that's wrong. And 18 on 4. This seems low. I wonder if I was counting correctly. 62 total, but that's good. And many others listening in, and people watching the video replay to see their favorite radios, etc., etc. Most heard manufacturer tonight. Hasn't happened in a while. E.F. Johnson with 2 sneaking in. The E.F. Johnson Messenger 223, our first radio from Joe. The CTC-100, that's from International Crystal Manufacturing Company, and I apologize for not having a good database. We're working on that. I don't know. It could be down for the count. We've been doing this for so long. It's like those servers don't exist anymore where all your stuff is being stored. But we have some great pictures of that particular radio and combination setup. The E.F. Johnson Viking Messenger Whiteface from Harvey, Radio 3. You heard it, and it is available to be on your radio bench. Sounded pretty good. The T-123B Robin from Joe, Radio 4, Radio 5, Harvey on the Browning Golden Beagle. There's a bagel and a beagle. I think that's the beagle. And R68, T68, the radio after the Eagle, the Golden Eagle, and before the Mark II. That little 12-month, 18-month period where they were working on things, constantly working on things at Browning. All the radio manufacturers were in the 60s in competition, just like the auto manufacturers. Remember when there were 18 models of Fords and 18 models of Chryslers and 18 models of Chevys? Just to get you into that niche. And same way with the radios. Just all these little different models and different dials and different lights and things of that nature. And then all of a sudden it was 1975. there was three from which to choose. Radio number 6, the World Radio Labs Hustler. Now, there is a rare radio, a company that made amateur radios. A lot of them did. Went into CBs, was in the Globe name, but this was still a hustler. World Radio Labs. Leo Meyerson from Council Bluffs, Bluff, Iowa. I'll look that one up. Maybe some of you have actually talked to back when he was not an SK. Talk to Leo Meyerson. I think that's it. The Old Tube Radio Network. Every week, 8 p.m. Pacific time, most Saturdays, direct live here in Central California with our great crew of Old Tube Radio operators that some of which, the people checking in, shortwave listeners listening in, have been doing it since the mid-1980s, believe it or not. So a good place to be on Saturday. We encourage you to do something like that where you are at. Anybody working on their license, working to get your ham license, the bands are excellent. So when it is 20 over everywhere on your 11-meter radio, that little ham ticket will get you out into the park somewhere where you can actually have a conversation with 50 watts and a piece of wire. Fun stuff. Catch you next week on the Old Tube Radio Network.
Dennis, and I pulled the channel selector knob off, took my flashlight, looked up in there, C-8025. It's the same as the Mark III. Somebody put a Mark III dial in a Mark IV. Of course it works backwards unless they figured out how to electronically turn it around. So, anyway, mystery kind of solved. Well, almost until I get the thing going. Thank you much.
All right, very interesting. S9 Greg says, tell Harvey I'm sure that's the wrong dial. Sounds like somebody tried to upgrade a channel, 23 channel themselves using HF expansion for the Mark III, which I think is what you just confirmed. you could just confirm that it is indeed the wrong dial. Over.
Roger, they put a high freak dial that's supposed to be a Mark III into a Mark IV, and unless they got it to tune backwards for that dial, it's going to be all off. But it's in there. If I get it going, then I'll see what it does. Okay, I think Joe keyed up.
All right, and there was a question. There was a question. I think it was for me. Oh, John, Dennis, may I ask what year you were born? I don't even know. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to write it on. It'd be like one of those game shows. This is like Jeopardy. Here we go. I'm going to write it on this card, and I'm going to go to the Less Than Stellar camera, and I will display it. That's bad handwriting. That's what happens when you write on your lap. There it is. That year I was born, even before the Class D 11-meter Citizen Band radio service was on the air. Over. Probably like a lot of people listening in. when we were all in grade school and high school with our first little walkie-talkies and Space Commander patrols back in the 60s, and thinking this is so cool.
Turning off the stream.
All right, thank you, Larry, for the Larry Cam tonight, exposing and telling the truth, no matter what your signal might be. You can't get away from the Larry Cam. And they're making me promise to do something with my hair next week. All right, well, if it's not raining, it will be better. I'll make sure I stop by the makeup trailer.
How much power are you running? About a watt?
No, I'm actually many times. Let me get the right radio. Sorry about that. I'm way more power than I was last week, and I listened last night. I was like the loudest station last night, and I'm thinking, how come on the ditch banks, I sounded as loud as Ron, which is never the case. And tonight, I can barely hear myself. I'm like the weakest station, and normally on the other playbacks, I'm strong, so I'm not sure what's going on. But no, my power is back up to where it normally is, over.
Did you just go away, Dennis?
I guess you're not transmitting on your
I'm on the 2 meter.
Your 5,000. Because when it looks like you key down, I see 0.
No, I'm on that. I have a different amplificating device, but what's interesting is output-wise, it is very similar to what I would normally be, and audio-wise on the meters, it looks very good. I mean, it's actually better than the other one I had. So I just wonder if it's doing something that way, but no, I'm typically where I should be, and to my ears, I did a test, and the scopes, it actually looks and sounds better.
Okay. Well, it doesn't sound, it's not very strong over here. I gotta say.
I was wondering why. I noticed the same thing. It's like I could barely hear myself, even when the skip was there. And I'm thinking, no, I'm power-wise, I'm where I should be. Did something change with the antenna? That I've got a null with the rain? I have no idea. Because, like I said, if you go to the last night and when I check in on ditch banks, I'm as loud as Ron. That never happens.
Yeah, so I'm wondering, what's interesting there. So hopefully you're monitoring your final wattage to your antenna.
Yeah, that's the REA meter, and then I've got the after thing. My PEP is like 150. It is way up there. And the match is good. And if I was having a problem, people would say, like they did last week, it says, you're kind of weak, I can barely hear you. Nobody was saying that this week because they shouldn't have, because I was back to normal power.
Yeah, something's odd. Yeah, and have you switched to a dummy load and see if you got the same wattage?
No, I've got 2 watt meters. I've got the same wattage and actually more of it. I've got the pre-amplification and post-amplification. And like I said, I've got 150 PEP coming up.
You're sure it's not negative 150 PEP?
Well, again, when I heard what I heard on your thing, I was thinking, okay, I'm going to get some complaints. But you know what? Okay, here's the deal. Dean heard me tonight. Last week he could not hear me, which is correct, because I'm probably running 15 watts PEP. This week when he came in, we in between the skip, He actually acknowledged Steve, so I know my output power, because he's in Madeira, is where it should be.
Yeah. Well, probably take an RF print, from on your antenna instead of just measuring solely for SWR. Do a VNA on it and look at it.